Hello YouTube. I know nobody's watching, so I'm not gonna say welcome to the channel. So I put myself on some rules. So today I'm gonna be solving Leetcode IOs. If you know about Leetcode, it's like a knockdown version of Leetcode with specific questions that are tailored topic by topic. So today my goal is to knock out the first 9 questions of Leetcode, just following the roadmap, and all of them are on arrays and hashing. I'm trying to get all 9 because arrays and hashing is like basic, or I think I've used them the most among any other data structure. So if I'm starting to practice and they are the first ones, I should be able to, or at least I'd say by the dawn of the next day, if I'm able to finish them. So the first question is the duplicate problem. Funny enough, this same duplicate problem was the one I was given. I interviewed with Amazon a few months ago, and I didn't get the job. I have no idea what happened. I solved the problem. The guy gave me edge cases. Okay, if there are negative values, if it's like zeros. Can't remember all of them, but there were some edge cases that he added. Okay, if it's this, what are you gonna do? If it's this, what are you gonna do? Don't use extra space. The list that I just give you, no extra space, and you can't backtrack. And I solved the problem in under 45 minutes, and the guy was cool with it. At the time, I thought it was like a big problem, but now I see it's like very trivial. And the name of the guy was Yash, actually. Guy was cool with it. He said I did good, and then I was gonna hear back in 2 weeks. I didn't hear nothing, and that's about it. I followed up a few times, but nothing came out, and I just gave up. But this is the same question I'm starting with because that's the first question. Hopefully the screen is going to show contains duplicate. I have already clicked and opened the link on LinkedIn. I mean, Leetcode. And since it's Python, maybe I should hide the other solutions. The first solution that came to mind was to do it in the most Pythonic way. I really don't know what is the best way to solve it right now, but I have multiple solutions. You can see, let me hide this just for now. I have multiple solutions, which I thought this was the easiest. And anybody who knows Python will probably go for this method also. This is probably too long. Maybe there's a way you can make it short, but hey, this is the first go. So this first, so this is the question actually. Let me not skip. So given an integer array, nums called nums, return true if any values appear at least twice in the array, and return false if every element is distinct. Now, and they give examples 1, 2, 3, 1, and then you return true because 1 is repeated. And you can see, you can read the question, you can read these examples. I don't have to show you. And the easiest way without having to do any calculation or work is just to put it in a set. So just create a new variable, call this set nums, and then put these nums in a set, and assign it to this new variable. If this set nums has less digits, that means something must have repeated. Because if we have one, let me make a comment. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and there's no repetition. If you put them in a set, it's gonna be the same. But if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, and then you put it in the set, we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put the spaces so it looks similar. So if we get 1, 2, 3, 4, that last 2 is not there. So if you do len of set nums is going to be 4, len of nums is going to be 5. So you'd figure out there was a duplicate. And yeah, the false is way down here. So that was the first and easy method I thought of. Probably there's a more efficient method somewhere, and I'll go watch the video of the guy solving the question in Leetcode, the video on YouTube. And the next solution I thought of, I don't know, I think I'm flexing my brain since this question is like an easy one. The next one I thought of was if the numbers are sorted. Look at this comment. So if the list is already sorted, then I can get check the numbers that are next to each other. So if we have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're all sorted, then we can just check like what's the number next to 1. It must be greater than 1. If it's the same as 1, then it's a duplicate. What's the number next to 2? If it's the same as 2, like the numbers next to 2 must be lower or greater. If they are the same as 2 and the list is sorted, then there's definitely a duplicate. So for example, we can have 1, 1, 2, 3, 3. So like this is sorted, so from ascending order. So 1, the next number is also 1, so already you get it, that it's a duplicate. And then when you get to 3, you probably will not get it, but when you get to 3 and then the next number is also 3 again, then you know that it's a duplicate. So if the numbers are already sorted, this is something I remember to ask the interviewer. That's a clarifying question to see if the list is already sorted. But if they are not, I just sorted them myself. And if they don't restrict like using extra space, I mean, even if they restrict using extra, you could have put nums here instead of sorted nums. But for clarity, we just leave sorted nums. And let me comment this out before we run into some errors. Okay, for index, so to check the next, I don't know, after I finished writing this, there was just still a big doubt in my head that there's an easier way to write this with less lines of code, but this is what it is for now. Maybe I'll optimize it later if I figure out something, if I find something online. So for index num, I was using the enumerate function so that I would have the index and have the number too, the individual digits numbers too. So for index num in enumerate sorted nums, I'll tell you about the problem I encountered here. So if the index is less than 0, we don't want like index out of bound or out of range. So I'm going to check this first. So if index is less than 1, that means the index is 0. The reason we are doing that is because here we are indexing the index minus 1th element. So if it's at 0 and then we do index minus 1, we're going to get -1. And the -1 is going to be out of bound, out of range. We're going to run into errors. I did run into error before I fixed it. So index less than 1, and we're going to continue and go to the next loop. If index is greater than 1, then we're going to come and then just check if the previous element is the same as this current element, then it's a duplicate. That's what we're checking for in these two lines. So if the previous is the same as the current, then we're going to return true. And this one, I ran it and it passed. These I haven't submitted. Submission will definitely have more rigorous checks, but then we'll get there. And then the third thing that came to my mind, the third solution was, do I remember? Yeah, it was to do the brute force. This is probably what you do if you're just starting to learn to code. Not starting to learn to code, but this is like, if you can't think of anything at all, this is probably what you would go with. And then you fix this later, make it faster. So this is the brute force. We just go through the numbers. So for each number, you just go through the rest of the numbers and then check, do we have the same number in the list besides this number that we have? So we have 1 here, and if we go through, check, is 2 equal to 1? No. Is 3 equal to 1? No. Is 1 equal to 1? Yes. Okay, there's a duplicate. But here, okay, if we take hold of 1, is 1 equal to 2? No. Is 1 equal to 3? No. Is 1 equal to 4? No. So there's no duplicate. So that's what I was doing here. Bad explanation, but it's okay. You understand. I'm just trying to get this video out to get into the mode of solving questions and making videos. But yeah, that is the basic among the 3 methods, I would say. All of them are pretty basic actually. So, and since it is arrays and hashing, one method I should have thought about it, but I haven't until I googled like what is the most efficient way to solve this problem. Because I was like, okay, I know all these methods. Is there like a more efficient way to solve it than those three methods I did? And then I found out I could, yeah, when I just saw a hash table, no, it was a hash set actually. Yeah, a hash table would be unnecessarily huge. Yeah, I think it was a hash set. I don't know, but I don't call it the hash set. I don't know which language you would call it that, but like in C you would call it uh, a hash table, and then in Python it would be a dictionary. But I don't know if there's a need for a dictionary here. We could use it, yeah, definitely. We could just make a dictionary, and then we would add each number that we'd come across to the dictionary, and then when we see a dictionary, a new number, it doesn't make sense. Set is already there, so putting in the set is just the same. So I think a dictionary would be just a waste of matter of preference. If you prefer to use a dictionary, that is also works also. Yeah, but these I thought were good. Were the good ones I could think of right off the bat. So let me try to submit this one and see if it's gonna submit, and see how many, if I'm gonna pass all the checks, and see how many people I will be ahead of considering the time. Okay. Okay, this has not submitted. Holy moly. Okay, so can you see? This is strange. Okay, I've solved the question before back in April. I just forgot. But since I was starting over. But look, this is smart. Like, if you tell me that you'd give me this question and I would like try to submit many times and won't get it, I'm not gonna believe you. I'll tell you, no, screw that. This is an easy question. Oh my god, this is bad. But yes, April 27th, I don't know, I think I was feeling like solving problems and just came and tried it and it wasn't. Now I feel very bad that it is. I've tried like 5 times and hadn't gotten it. But this one, first time it's in. What is the run time though? What is. It beats 38% of people. Um, it's not bad, but I'm curious what is the fastest method? Because if this only beats 38% of people and then you're putting in a set, like what's the fastest method that you can get? I'm gonna go look at others. Okay, I'll take this. Um, make array 0 by 7 top k frequent. Okay, this is cool. Might be a bit too advanced if I try to. I'm gonna look at the solutions and see like what are other fast methods that people use that is faster than just using a set. Or probably you can just do the same thing I did, like set nums is equal to set bracket nums, but maybe you do it in one line. I don't know if a one line is gonna make it faster. Damn. Okay, this is set. This is Java, but this is easy solution with single line code. Damn, how do you solve this in single line like with C? Make a nested loop, generate all possible pairs. Yeah, what it's saying, that's what we solved that's what I did in my last solution here. Make a nested loop. I don't know, for some reason I have a distaste for nested loops, like before. Yeah, but sometimes that's just what I know, and I'm trying to act all knowy, and I don't know other better methods. That's for other questions, not this one. Okay, nested loop. Okay, we got that. Put a condition if both of the number generated in a pair are the same. Wait. What's this guy talking about? I'm gonna just read the code, just like the way we skip Stack Overflow stuff to go and look at the code. In a program unit pair with found because the outer loop is running from 0 to n minus 1 in the loop. We'll start from one value extra from previous loop. Run an n times n plus 1 divided by 2. If we're matching it in every pair of a vector, then possibly we can compare. If you can compare any of them, have to say invalid and return true. Else, end of nested loop. Interesting mean I don't quite understand it yet. Class. Oh, it's Java. It's using vectors. The heck, it's gonna put me on the spot. I don't remember nothing about vectors. Contains duplicate vector int bool flag is equal to false. Look, this is even more variables and more lines that I thought I was doing. Let me find Python. Is it Java or C++ even? Python. Using a map. You know, in the worst case, I just solve it. I don't like these guys' solutions. All about vectors and vectors. I don't like it because I don't know much about vectors. Oh, I said in C++. I don't know. I think I have to figure out what is the fastest solution that somebody had. Because mine was beating only 38% of. Or maybe it's possible that, like other people. What is happening? It's possible that other people used different languages because Python is interpreted. It's not as fast. But screw it. I'll go with this one. And I'm going to try to take a rest because I just finished from work and I didn't rest, and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I want to take a rest and I'll get the second question. I try to get like the first 5 questions and I'll make another video. Hopefully I'll try to keep them short. This is too long. I haven't been looking at the time.